Hello, salutations. What to do? It's Sadot the Gamer, off out of Durag, and you know vibes like scrap. Let's get it. Happy Wednesday, Durag Nation. How's everyone doing out there? We got an interesting day today. It's finally time for the DC fans to get some love. Hopefully. if all goes well. After what? It's been about 6 months. Suicide Squad is back. What's up, Champagne? Thank you for the 10 months. Time indeed flies. Morning, Naked Snake. Terrence Small, what it do? What's up, Isaac? What's up, Rambo? Caleb? What's up, Ravy? Nightmare? What's up, Jack? Lucky Ray in the building. Where's the stream? You're currently inside it. You're currently inside of me in Durag Nation. This is my creation. What's up? What's up? What's up, Bruce? The least YouTube friendly title, correct. Rip Kevin Conroy for sure. They waited till after Spider-Man 2 dropped. I mean, they wait. Not only that, because Spider-Man 2's been out for a while. They waited till after Spider-Man 2 released, after Alan Wake hype got out of there. They waited after the GTA 6 announcement. They waited they waited the perfect time. They waited the day of the Game Award nominees announcements. Because they're probably also going to be at the Game Awards because they have a new trailer that they haven't shown yet. What's up, Arkham? Appreciate you, Eric. New Marvel What If trailer. Yeah, I heard Marvel. I was watching. I already saw Marvel is surprisingly dropping What If this year. I thought it was delayed. It actually was delayed until until like 2024 for a while, but looks like it's dropping in December, which I am here for. But I was watching the Madam Web trailer earlier. Looks surprisingly good. So I mainly, as soon as I reconfirmed that Sydney Sweeney is in there, I was already sold on the trailer. They didn't the bar to impress me was very low. They already put Sydney Sweeney in this movie. I was gonna like the trailer regardless. They would have to have gone out of their way to make me not like the trailer. What's up, IDK bro? Appreciate you. We'll do our best to make your workday more enjoyable. What's up, Ashwin? What's up, Chance? Hope you're having a good day as well. W going to make some stinkers for next decade until another CEO takes over. What do you mean, movies? I don't know about that. The CEO has done some questionable stuff. Well, some stuff you might question, but in general, he seems to have a much better understanding than at least the previous leadership. Like he understands that they're running a company and that company requires them to make a profit. He also understands that, hey, we're WB. We own a lot of IP that people like a lot. Let's do something with that, particularly when it comes to gaming. So that's one thing. That's one thing that already is in their favor. And then he realized, oh, the DCU is a complete disaster. Just reset the whole thing. Get somebody in in charge to like organize it all, and he got James going to do it. So I don't expect any. I don't expect. I don't think all the DCU projects are going to be great, but looking at some of the stuff that's up ahead, at least some of them are going to be good. I mean, you have a sequel to the Batman. You have a sequel. You have a sequel to the Joker. You have Superman Legacy, which sounds like it's going to be good. That Green Lantern show might be really good. So it's probably going to be all right. How will the gameplay be? Well, we already know what the gameplay is like. What I'm looking for today, when it comes to the Suicide Squad reveal, is how much better do they understand what fans are looking for compared to last time? Like, getting a look at the story, that's one thing, but I'm not really worried about the story. The story looks good. We pretty much get the gist of the story already. It takes place after the events of Arkham Knight. Brainiac has invaded. He's using mind control to take over a bunch of the Leaguers. Looks like Wonder Woman was the only member of the Justice League to escape the mind control somehow. And she's working with the Suicide Squad in order to stop the Justice League and stop Brainiac. Pretty straightforward story. Don't really need that much of a deep dive into it. But the gameplay is where they really gotta, sell people now. Because I think that there are a lot of criticism about Suicide Squad, and a lot of that criticism I don't find legitimate at all. But the gameplay is definitely one of them, and only in regards to they look too samey, and it contradicted what they said in the state of play, because for instance, they had a section where they were talking about King Shark and how he was the fastest melee character in the game. And when they showed the actual footage, it's like, I mean, I can't really tell. Like they talking about melee, and I'm like, well, I can't really tell. Like he has stylized takedowns just like everyone else does. He has an aerial ground pound. I saw him do an uppercut. Like, where's the where's the melee? Like, show me him. If he has the fastest melee combat in the game, show me that. Like, show me gameplay of King Shark doing some like wild multi-hit combo, instead of just jumping up in the air, firing off his minigun, and occasionally doing a ground slam or a takedown. It's wild. It's wild. Like, just show it. Like I said, so if you're here, you're interested in it. We're gonna be reacting to it, but we're obviously going to watch it so we understand what's going on. If you're not interested in watching along and reacting, you're more than welcome to go elsewhere. All the information is on the internet. Go find it, enjoy it. But we're gonna count down until it starts. It's gonna go live, and then we're gonna watch, and then after it's over, we're gonna discuss it, react a little bit, and then I'll make a shorter video that kind of summarizes everything because in addition to the gameplay and the story details, there's going to be some announcements. That's all I can say. But it should be interesting. What's up, B Crack? Fast as Melee. Meanwhile, Harley Quinn is there. Yeah, but she's a human, so it wouldn't. That's why, like, it would make sense for King Shark to have the fastest melee because he's a demigod. Like like he's superhuman. So he should be strong. He should be fast. Technically, he shouldn't need a gun at all, but but if we're gonna have that melee component, we got to see if it's really like a well thought out melee system or if it's just like a couple attacks and it's mainly about shooting. Like, can you legitimately have a pure melee build and get through the game like that? Or is it literally just pure gunplay? That's the question. What if season 2 trailer release? I heard. Do you think pre-orders go live after this? I think there's a good chance of that happening. The upcoming Spider-Man 3 game should be on Xbox Series X. No, it shouldn't. why would a PlayStation Studios game release on Xbox? That makes literally no sense. It's a PlayStation Studios game. Halo is not going to release on the PlayStation 5. so why are you asking for Spider-Man 3 to release on the Xbox Series X? Doesn't make any sense. You want to play Spider-Man 3, just get a PlayStation like everyone else. You're saying if you pre-order this, or you have faith in Rocksteady. What would Harley Quinn's specialty be? I mean, she's a melee fighter, and we saw she has the signature hammer in the gameplay that we saw previously. So that's technically her signature, the big hammer. But yeah, she's basically she's a super athletic melee fighter. That's Harley's thing, but she also uses guns as well. But yeah, she's acrobatic. She uses weapons. That's her thing. PS is mostly free, then be on Xbox jail. Microsoft didn't agree. Deal with Sony, so offered them. Like, the funny thing is that Xbox is even funnier. Xbox could have owned Insomniac. Like, they could have, because Insomniac wasn't always making PlayStation exclusive games. Xbox could have done the Marvel deal that resulted in the Spider-Man series, and they could have bought Insomniac, and they said no to both. They're like, Insomniac, nah, we're good. A Marvel game, nah, we're good. Like, okay. And Sony was like, you know what, Insomniac, we like what y'all are cooking. We're gonna snatch y'all up, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this Marvel thing too. Let's do Spider-Man, and the rest is history. That was a Microsoft Xbox decision to pass on both Insomniac and Marvel. We're like, we're good. We got Halo, we got Gears of War. We'll be fine. What's up, Kavari? Look at Insomniac. Look at Insomniac now. 33 million copies sold just from their Spider-Man games and counting. That must have been the biggest L in Xbox history. It's definitely regrets were definitely had for sure. How Poison's Ivy in it. That's the other thing. That's my other issue with the gameplay looking so samey. If it is intended to just be a shooter game, then I think that's a mistake because it limits the potential interesting playable characters you could have had. Like if they made it more like Avengers, where sure you can still have the gear system, but the individual heroes were very different from each other, then that opens up a lot more options for your playable characters. Like Captain Boomerang obviously should only be using boomerangs, but they should be trick boomerangs, you know? But if you didn't build the combat system so that everyone's using guns, then you could have a character like Poison Ivy or Reverse Flash or Bizarro or Captain Cold. You know, these truly interesting villains that people would want to play as. You could all of a sudden throw them in there because they're not going to be forced to be using guns. Like that's the thing that was throwing me off, is like you had a lot of upside here with the playable characters, but if you're just trying to make a straight up shooter, that kind of limits your pool. And if you're intending on bringing in big characters and have them use guns, then it's just going to be goofy. But that's the thing. A DC shooter game could be good, but that just limits the characters. Like Harley Quinn, Deadshot, perfectly fine to have if you're making a shooter. No, but then you're also looking at Deathstroke, Bloodsport, Peacemaker. Like all these characters make sense if you're trying to make a shooter. But my thing is, why limit yourself to just being a shooter? Poison Ivy with a Glock sounds like sarcasm. Every game like this is. You mean every game? Every game is repetitive. If you once you play it, the what's up, Treasure? The value of looters is that they have more longevity on average than most games because they give you an incentive to keep playing beyond where you usually would stop, because there's a reward system, especially with the multiplayer ones. Like typically you have your main story and then you finish the main story and then you're done with the game. Or if it has New Game Plus, you maybe do another playthrough and then you put the game down. But with the looter, you do the main. What's up, Deeper? With the looter, you do the main story, and then if you want to do it again with another character, you can do that. But then you go to the end game, and you're like, okay, let me craft the best builds. Let me farm. I'm looking for this particular rare piece. Let me go get that. And there's a rush even in that, because it's kind of like that feeling you get when you're opening packs of Pokemon cards or something. Look at you're farming enemies, trying to get that one drop to complete your build, and then you craft different builds to test how much more powerful you can be, and then you play different modes with your friends to see how fast you can take down enemies, and then you bring in on new players, help guide them along. So that's why looters are a popular choice for live service, because it has a built-in longevity factor where if you do it right, you keep people wanting to keep playing long term, even if there's no new content. And then of course you drop new content, and that gives them even more reason to keep going. Okay, now there's new content. Now I can test the builds that I put together against this new content. And then, you raise the stakes there. Okay, we're going to raise the power level cap. Maybe we introduce some new gear, some new mechanics and stuff like that. So That's the appeal of the looter. I don't think they're just going to think shooter because they would be too limiting. Captain Code would be a nice addition. I also that's why that's the thing. Like for them to really sell this, they got to really address those concerns. Like how samey is the gameplay going to be? How deep is the actual combat? You know, what are their plans for some of these new characters? That's gonna really determine how long this game lasts. What's up, Jace? Happy Hump Day. Yes, they mostly fail because people get bored, no one wants to grind and listen. That's the thing. Completely incorrect. Like that's why I'm saying for people who enjoy, to clarify, for people who enjoy the genre, if you don't like looters, if you don't like grinding, if if you don't like games like Outriders, Remnant 2, Diablo, Destiny, if you don't like those types of games, then yeah, it's not for you. You're gonna play it more casually, like which we saw with Avengers. Like there were people who just come in, play the story, peace out. They don't really feel like investing in grinding or putting up with builds. Then when a new DLC drops, they come back, try it out, dip, you know. But for people who actually like build crafting and farming, yeah, they enjoy it. If you do it, if you build it correctly, they're not going to get bored. They enjoy it because it's fun. It's rewarding. But if you're someone who doesn't play those games and you only really play linear story driven experiences, then naturally you're not going to like it. Just like someone who's used to fighting, who only really likes fighting games, probably isn't going to like a 2D side scrolling puzzle game. Like it's just a matter of preference. Did I see the new Madam Web trailer? I did. I thought it looked surprisingly good. The Craven trailer, I thought that looked like dog water, but the Madam Web trailer, I was all in. I'm all in on Madam Web. Soul games are cool. You do a story and side quests, and you're done. You like games that last a while. Yeah, exactly. That's a lot of people like that. Where's GTA 6? You're in the wrong stream, my friend. Hope campaign mode is always offline. Yeah, that's the one thing that that's another thing that we got to see if they change. We heard from Jez Corden. He's a big industry insider. He said one of the reasons Suicide Squad delayed the game extra 9 months is because they were addressing some of the fan backlash, like the always online feature. So I'm hoping we get confirmation of that, because yeah, I definitely agree. Game if your game if you're especially if your game isn't free to play, I don't like it having an always online component, like completely. Like if the barrier to enter your game isn't free and you have offline modes in the game, it doesn't make sense for it to be always online. That's silly to me. Because it'd be one thing if it was a pure multiplayer game like Fortnite, but it's not. They confirmed that it has a single player story campaign that you can do completely by yourself, nothing but AI as your companions. So if you have something like that, I feel like your game should have an offline mode. Like you should not have to rely on servers to play the game that you paid $70 for. I don't agree with that. So hopefully the report from Jez Corden is true and they got that feature out of there. It's because of Sydney Sweetney that you're in the Mana Web. I mean, obviously, I was very upfront about that. As soon as they cast Sydney Sweetney in Madam Web, I was committed to seeing this movie. Like I make no I make no apologies about that. That was an absolute fact. I was like, as long as Sydney Sweeney is in this trailer, I'm here for it. Deadpool 3 is your only hope, but Craven the Hunter and Madam Web. Venom 3. Yeah, my expectations are Venom 3 for low. I know I'm going to enjoy Madam Web regardless. Don't think Craven is going to be good. Lock and Cameron Carr's last performance, so always online doesn't sound right. Like, what if they show off service so we can? Yeah, exactly. So yeah, absolutely 100% get rid of that. Get rid of that feature. That's insane. Just in general, regardless of if Cameron Carr is connected to it or not. If you pay $70 for a game and you can play that significant parts of that game solo, no multiplayer, no nothing. There's no reason for that to require an internet connection. That's silly. I got the nice like pretty much like most games. Most games are not always online. Even Marvel's Avengers, which was a live service game, you could play that. You could play that offline. You could play the camp. You could play the camp. The campaign is offline. You could even play. You can even play the post campaign content offline. You know, all the war zones and stuff. That's usually play multiple. You could do that. You could do all that offline. The only thing that required multiplayer was like the specific multiplayer only missions, like the raid in the OOT. Everything else you could just straight up play offline. So yeah, they should definitely fix that. Looks worse than the Marvels. Mad Web looks way better than Marvels. That's cap. So the bearded one, the Suicide Squad. A lot of new stuff dropping today. We're waiting for it to start, but they're doing a YouTube series where they explore different parts of the game. Today they're gonna do a deep dive into the story and the gameplay. Basically Suicide Squad is in full marketing mode once again. The game comes out February 2nd. Currently, is the current release date, and they're ready to start that marketing cycle all over again to try to get fans hype. I've heard a lot of things, so I'm looking forward to it all actually getting officially announced. I'm excited for it. You have a question? Will it happen? Reboot in the Batman Arkham Batman Arkham reboot? I don't know anything about a reboot. Hope they change the Fortnite looking gameplay. If you mean like them looking similar, that's the thing I'm looking out for too. Mainly, I want to see the melee stuff. That's mainly what I'm looking for. I want to see melee. I want to see more unique abilities. I want to see some stuff. Heard things? Oh, I've heard a lot of things. I've heard a lot of things that I can't share that are very interesting. This game does look better than Avengers. Saber Topless. Yeah, it already has it already has some leg up on Avengers. Like they're committed to 60 FPS at launch. It's in a big open world. The combat, everything looks fat. The traversal looks really fast. Doesn't have that tiny flight ceiling like Avengers had. As long as it has joint in progress and it actually works, it's going to have a lot more. I say it's going to have a lot more interesting combat than Avengers. Well, at least in terms of the as a multiplayer game. Now, the advantage Avengers had was that it was an Avengers game, so you had the ability to play as Iron Man, Thor, Hulk, Captain America. Naturally much more interesting characters to play as than the Suicide Squad. It'd be another thing if you could play as the Justice League, but that's the one thing that Suicide Squad is trailing behind. This shown could have been an upgraded character, so maybe there's more to it. And that's another one of my criticisms. Like you going into that state of play, you know what people are saying about the game because you released gameplay like a year before that. You know people were saying it looks like Fortnite. Why is King Shark using a gun? Why is Captain Boomerang using a gun? Why does it look so samey? Like you knew that going in, so why wouldn't you show that? Why wouldn't you show? Oh no, it's actually not like that. Here's a sample from the build that's optimized for melee. Like why would you not just show that? That's the problem. So I'm hopefully they take that feedback and have a presentation that kind of addresses those criticisms because you're not gonna win over everybody. There's and that shouldn't even be the goal. There is a big market for people who like looters. There's a market for people who wanted another superhero live service experience. There's a market for that. The people who just want to do who just want a Batman game where you press 2 buttons every year, you're never going to win those people over, and you shouldn't even bother. Like, there's nothing you can do about that. They want one type of game, and this game is not that. Like, you're never going to win them over, and you don't need to. Who you need to win over are the people who actually care about this type of game. You got to show them that it's actually good. That's who you got to win over. That game. What's up, casual Uncle Casual? Break all the Avengers squad is coming back together for this. I saw Lejeune, Casual, Bob Duck and Weave, Jay Shockblast, Johnny Rocker. Everybody from the Avengers squad is ready to assemble again to be disappointed potentially. We can't come right from Avengers. We're like, we're ready for it again. Give us some more of that live service superhero goodness. Not the 2 buttons. It's true though. Like, come on. Batman Arkham people definitely need to let it go and move on. Max, like, at least advocate for another superhero game. Like, it'd be one thing if it's like, oh, they should have made, a Superman game or a Flash game or a Green Lantern game or just a Justice League game. Those are all valid. But no, I want another Batman Arkham game. Okay. Yeah, we get it. You only want to play that, but other people want to play something else. What's up, Craig? Yep, Avengers Assemble. Will pre-orders be available today? We'll have to wait and see. Did you see they got a Supergirl writer? I did, for the Woman of Tomorrow. I still got to finish that issue. I read a little bit of it. I haven't finished the Woman of Tomorrow comic yet, but yeah, the writer that they hired, I mean, I have concerns, I mean, James Gunn, I mean, she doesn't have any credits. She wrote one. Her only movie credit is she has no TV show credits. Her most of her credits are as an actor. Her one movie writing credit is from a short that came out like 5 years ago. But James Gunn said he was blown away by the script. It was more than what he was expecting, all this other stuff. But James Gunn also said The Flash was one of the best superhero movies he'd ever seen. So I can't exactly take what he says at face value. We'll have to see on that one. He just want better gameplay to shoot per it's fair. That's why I'm curious about what the boss fights against the League are going to look like. Do they have a legitimately interesting way of doing those boss fights? Or is it going to be like Avengers where, you're fighting Taskmaster and he's just going through his motions while you spam all your special moves on him? like how are they going to do these boss battles? Batman will be back. And Suicide Squad, yeah, they showed that at the last Game Awards in 2022, they had a big trailer dedicated to Kevin Conroy that showed off the Suicide Squad meeting Batman. What I think about the Marvels movie, I thought it was going to be absolute dog water. I mean, it was, but it was it was surprisingly enjoyable. I think mostly because they they centered the movie around Kamala, and Aman Vellani is even though they didn't give her much material to work with, she's a really charming and charismatic actor. So she kind of made just everyone more likable. But yeah, the movie was kind of a mess, but I definitely enjoyed it more than I was expecting to. They must nerf the hell out of the league. And that's the thing, like, well, one of the ways that we already saw that they're going to kind of address the power imbalance between the Suicide Squad and the Justice League is the fact that the whole Justice League isn't brainwashed. Only some of them are. One or most of them. Wonder Woman seems to be the only one so far that isn't brainwashed. So, like we saw when in the cutscene where they were fighting the Flash was destroying them, but then Wonder Woman dropped in and lassoed them up. We also saw Wonder Woman fighting Superman. So it looks like when you're fighting like some of the more heavy hitter league members, you're going to be getting assisted by Wonder Woman, which makes sense and is a good way to kind of bridge that gap. That Batman is going to buy you. Yeah, I hope they do I hope the Batman one is more like a horror game type of vibe where you're not fighting him like in this open arena. He's like in the shadows and he'll like pop out at you or he'll set traps or try to yank you up with the batarang or something or the grappling. There are a lot of really interesting ways you can do a Batman boss battle to really show how Batman is to fight against, because it wouldn't be like a straightforward bullet sponge encounter with Batman. He's not going to fight you head on. He even showed that in the cutscene. Like he's going to set traps. He's going to attack you from the ceiling. He's going to attack you from the shadows. That'd be really cool. He'll be a Poison Ivy X Harley. I bet you do. Green Lantern doesn't look brainwashed. Oh yeah, he's definitely brainwashed in the trailer. They show him attacking, but they also show him he's got the purple eyes. The way you can tell someone's brainwashed by Brainiac is they'll have purple eyes. In the trailer, the few times they show Green Lantern in the trailer, he had the veins and the purple eyes. DC games and cartoons live action is all going to be canon. Maybe they're going to use games and cartoons to tell those bigger budget movies. That's another thing. It's really hard to do that. So I think what that's going to look like is that they're going to make a game and it's going to take place in the universe, but it's not going to be tied into it, in any way that would affect the scheduling, because game development, you really can't time it with film and TV production. That's a recipe for disaster. Games take longer and there's a lot of moving parts. Also, having the same actors across TV, movies, games doesn't make any sense either, unless you get an actor who's like really good voice actor. Because just because you can act in a movie doesn't mean you can do voice work for an animated show or a video game. Those are completely different skill sets. So I don't like the idea of potentially having a situation where you're trying to book an actor to film this big blockbuster movie, and also film and also record voice work for this big AAA game just because you want to have that continuity. It's like it's not necessary. All you want is maybe open world like Gotham Knights. We got the open world. That's definitely already confirmed. Big open world metropolis. I remember the developers saying that this was roughly their metropolis is roughly double the size of this of Arkham, the Arkham City in the Arkham Knight game. Double in size. So big world to explore. But the question would be like, what's going to be in it? What are kind of the mission types going to be? What's it going to be like? Because I can kind of see based on what they've shown so far, what some of this is going to be. So you're going to have the story stuff is going to be like, okay, well, you're going to go here. You're going to have boss encounters here, but they're also going to have parts of the city like Avengers. Like you're going to have parts of the city where it's like, oh, there's a big there's this giant brainiac robot that's in this part doing something. You have to stop it. So you all go over there. There are mobs of enemies spawning in the area you have to take out, and then you go to the big machine alien thing and you shoot out the weak points. You know, it'll be stuff like that. Brainiacs forces will be doing shenanigans all around the city, and you got to go to that point and beat them or do some other related objective. You know, oh, there's maybe you got to rescue someone from a lab. You know, you go to this place, do this. You know, oh, you got to find Flash, or you got to take Flash here. You know, there's going to be stuff like that. What if trailer is crazy? Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. Will Harley Quinn be thick? I mean, we've already seen her. The answer is no. Feel like the game's tone conflicts. One moment is serious, the next has MCU humor. I mean, that's pretty consistent with the Suicide Squad, especially with who's in the Suicide Squad. Like, obviously, if you have Harley Quinn as like as one of the main members, you're gonna have that because she's not a serious person. So that makes perfect sense to me. It's like, yeah, Harley Quinn is, you know, a little out there. She's gonna crack jokes even in really messed up especially in really messed up situations. Like these aren't like King Shark plays it straight. He's, you know, a very serious person. Deadshot's pretty serious, but yeah, King Shark, Captain Boomerang, they're not. Oh yes, I'm going. Yes, we have to do the mission in the thing. And no, like they're not like that. What If trailer was better than Mad Web trailer? Does the What If trailer have Sydney Sweeney? Hope they show more of Batman in this trailer. People are getting this game for Kevin Conroy. I think I want them to save Batman. Like, we already got to see him. We already got the nice tribute. I want them to save Batman because what I want to see is gameplay. I want to see boss fight. I want to see one boss fight. You can watch the live stream right here. You need more Superman. Yeah, some little Superman. Like, I just want to see what a boss fight against one of the members of the league is going to look like. Like, let Batman be a surprise. Let that be something we experience when we get the game. But they've shown a lot of the Flash so far. They've mainly shown, for screen time, they've shown a lot of Wonder Woman, Flash, Green Lantern, and Superman. And mostly they've shown the Flash. So maybe show that boss fight, because we already saw that they capture the Flash at some point. So just show us a little bit of that boss fight, just so we get an idea of what they're going to be like, since we already know how it's going to end. Gonna be an Elden Ring Melania type boss fight. Facts. is Aquaman or Cyborg in this game? We don't know. I mean, we would assume that they're part of the mainline JL, but they haven't shown them yet. They're keeping, which makes sense. You want to keep it a surprise, so we don't know exactly which members are going to show up. So far, for the members we've seen Batman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, John Stewart version, Flash, and Superman. And then for villains, we've seen Lex Luthor already. We already know Amanda Waller is the one leading the Suicide Squad. You've seen Penguin. He's going to be part. Penguin and Toyman are going to be like part of the NPC vendors, helping you level up your gear and all that other stuff. It made Amazon listing for a deluxe edition of Suicide Squad went live early a couple hours ago. Got pulled down. Online requirement called out explicitly on the cover, so no pivot there. Is that confirmed? Let me see if I can find that. Because it's pretty easy to fake a listing. Unfortunately, I'm looking at it right now. This looks legit. The box cover definitely looks legit, but also pretty. Actually, that looks fake. I could literally make this myself. But we'll see. It's on Miller's Twitter. But it's not Miller's leak. Miller didn't tweet it. Somebody else tweeted it. This person is this is a Twitter account that tweets out video game deals in Canada. They tweeted it out. This was not if Miller told me they didn't get rid of the always online, I'd believe it because Miller would have heard that directly from somebody who works at Rocksteady or WB. I didn't get to actually see the listing that they said went up. So we'll have, but I'm sure if they're planning on officially announcing it today, then we're going to know one way or another. Probably online, because that's the thing. We know it requires internet because it's going to require internet regardless because it has a multiplayer function. So if you want to play multiplayer, you're gonna need obviously the Xbox Live, the PlayStation Plus, but we gotta see if there's going to be an offline component. Hope they also have some lesser known heroes like Captain Atom, Firestorm, and Red Tornado. Oh, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe Shazam pop up in there. Love me some Martian Manhunter. Love to see him pop up. You want all 19 inches of Batman? That's crazy. Avengers messed up the multiplayer. That's wild that Avengers was your. Imagine that's crazy. That's just crazy to me. Multiplayer, like Avengers being your, like for a lot of people, Avengers was their first multiplayer game, which is wild to me. I've been playing multiplayers for years. The only thing Avengers did was make me more careful about pre-ordering games. That's all that's the main lesson I got from that. In this current era, you gotta be real cautious when it comes to pre-ordering a game. Like do your research, do your due diligence, and make that decision for yourself. Do you trust the company? Has the marketing been shady at all? That sort of thing. But in terms of multiplayer, no, it's it's multiplayer. been playing multiplayer games since I was in middle school. Would they make a Spider-Man and Avengers together? You mean what if the Avengers finally show up at Avengers Tower when Peter is trying to save the city? If we ever get another big Avengers game, it's going to be from Insomniac. I don't know about Insomniac. I don't think I want Insomniac to take that on. Actually, I would rather someone else who does multiplayer games try to make a multiplayer Avengers game, because people already hate on Insomniac for the dumbest reasons. The people saying they want a multiplayer game now from Insomniac, I know this game. I know how gamers are these days, especially on Twitter. Most of the people right now that keep saying, "Oh man, Avengers should have been made by Insomniac. We need an Insomniac Avengers game. We need an Insomniac Avengers game." If Insomniac tomorrow announced that they're making an Avengers game and it's going to be multiplayer, up to 4 players, and that's all we had, there would be a bunch of people hating on Insomniac right now, saying, "Oh, Insomniac fell off. It's going to be pay to win. It's going to be live service. This game sucks. Why does Insomniac do that? Why are they betraying us? Just make another single player game. Why do you got to do that? Why Insomniac? Why? No one wants an Avengers game. Avengers sucks. Why is Insomniac making an Avengers game? Why? Make another single player." That's literally what's going to happen, and I don't have the patience for it. Gamers are dumb as hell. 100%. What's up, Kang? You ready for Swiss Guy? Yes, sir. They say it's going to be woke, and definitely that. They're going to say, "Oh, it's going to be woke. It's going to be multiplayer. It's going to be pay to win. It's going to have microtransactions. It's going to cost you $100 to max your character. Oh, it's going to be Avengers all over again." But right now, when it's not out there, it's going to be like, "Oh man, we need an Avengers multiplayer game. We need an Insomniac Avengers. I want that Insomniac multiplayer game." Literally, I see it right now on Reddit. The Insomniac multiplayer game is an original IP. It's not a Marvel game, but people keep hoping and asking for it to be a Marvel game. But if it was a Marvel game, they would immediately flip and turn on them. I'm just yapping. I'm spitting 100% facts. Like if you disagree, it's because you don't pay attention. Like these are 100% facts. Insomniac always gets switched up on by gamers. It happens literally all the time. It's crazy. Everything. Like even down to the suits. When Insomniac first revealed Spider-Man PS4, that's the thing. People were saying we need another Spider-Man game. We need another Spider-Man game. Oh, what? We need another console Spider-Man game. We need a PS4 Spider-Man game. We need a PS4. When people found out Insomniac were making a Spider-Man game, and they saw the reveal trailer, immediately, you know what they said? Oh, this game's trash. Why does the suit look like that? The suit sucks. This is the advanced suit, by the way. What most players consider one of the best Spider-Man suit designs ever. But at the time, they said it's trash. The suit looks trash. Insomniac sucks. This game is going to be garbage. It sucks. Oh, look at these puddles. Where's the puddles? They came up with all sorts of reasons to say Insomniac Spider-Man game was going to be trash. It was going to fail. Said the suit sucks. The game sucks. The graphics are going to be bad. Why is Insomniac doing this? Why are they showing so much? What is this? Why they're showing this? And then it comes out, becomes one of the best-selling games of all time. All of a sudden, oh man, Insomniac we trust. They're the GOATs, man. Look at that. Man, the advanced suit is the best Spider-Man suit ever made, yo. I love it. It's the best. The best Spider-Man suit ever, bro. Insomniac and trust. Insomniac's the greatest. like, come on. Except when they saw the Raimi suit wasn't a game. Then the Tobey fans were like, oh, Insomniac sucks. Spider-Man, why? You can't have a Spider-Man game without the Tobey Maguire suit. Where's the Tobey Maguire suit? Where's the Tobey Maguire suit? Like, it's always something. It is always something. Gamers are the absolute worst. Without fail, bro. I don't want to hear it. If Insomniac made announced a multiplayer game, they would absolutely get trashed online. 100%. That is a fact. That is a fact. All right, almost time. Let me switch over to the actual YouTube channel. Wait for this to upload. See, I wonder if it's going to be I'm thinking it's going to be it's not going to be a live stream. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pre-recorded video. I think that's what we're waiting for. I think it's going to be like the state of play thing that they showed off. It's going to be like a pre-recorded video. Please be good, Rocksteady. Facts. Hope Insomniac makes a DLC for Spider-Man Wolverine. Maybe for Spider-Man 3. Need this to not be trash? Same. Keep refreshing until they show me something. All right, here we go. It's it's a pre-recorded and it is 19 minutes long. All right. Smash that like button. Let's go, chat. Let's see what they've been cooking these last 9 months.
Where are we going? And who are we killing?
I'm Darius Sadigian, studio director at Rocksteady Studios.
What's up?
My name is Axel Rydby, and I'm the game director here.
Eyes up, people. Let's go.
At Rocksteady, storytelling and character depth are the core DNA of our game. These are not features, but Rocksteady fundamentals. With Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, we wanted to tell a new story. We wanted to expand the Arkhamverse. Coming from Batman, where it was just from his perspective, just from his lens. Now getting to see the world through the villain's eyes was really the hook for us.
Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is a third-person action shooter that can be played solo or with your friends.
Oh, that was interesting.
It's a story-driven game that highlights Rocksteady's experience in bringing characters to life. As a Suicide Squad, you'll be forced to take on an absolute impossible mission. You must kill the Justice League.
We want the mechanics of the game to really reflect the personalities of the squad.
I'm always first on the trigger.
We want their moves to be flamboyant, exaggerated, chaotic.
Let's make like
Captain Boomerang's gonna be my main.
Stick around.
Now, our 4 members of Task Force X find themselves inside Metropolis. At twice the size of Gotham City in Arkham Knight, it's big, it's loud, it's a battlefield. It's a place built for verticality, mobility, the unique fusion of enhanced traversal, gunplay, and melee weapons, creating a supervillain empowerment that we think is a totally original gameplay experience.
Yeah, I'm all about the
an
boomerang.
opportunity there to expand into co-op and have this dynamic world where friends can come together to share an experience. Or players can go solo, switching character members between missions while savoring each and every story twist.
Do you feel it? The swell of pride for what we have accomplished together.
We want to welcome you all to the first episode of our new series, Suicide Squad Insider, where
Let's
we will
go.
provide a deeper look into Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Thanks for
Over
the
the next few
$4.99,
months,
Jeffrey.
we'll be unpacking the game, answering your questions, and sharing a few surprises as we move closer to our launch on February 2nd. We'll also cover how Rocksteady will continue to support the game and its players post-launch with a huge amount of free content.
On this episode, you're going to hear from different members of the Rocksteady team as we explore more of the game's story, the world of Metropolis, and the core gameplay experience.
The Suicide Squad. A fitting moniker.
Let's jump into it.
Okay. All right, let's go. See what they cooking.
Normally, when you make a game in a superhero universe, the protagonist is the best person for the job. The squad are definitely not the best people for this job. They're the only people available.
Hey, Suicide Squad! Fuck you!
Language.
So it gives the narrative and the gameplay a kind of frantic, slightly panicked feeling where they are trying to figure this
Look
out
at
as they
Harley
go.
indoors.
The Arkham games weren't gritty because Rocksteady makes gritty, dark games. They were that way because that's what suits a Batman story.
Every game we approach that with a similar mindset of just like, how do we enhance that experience? How do we excite players in new ways?
Yeah, new criminal record.
For the studio to try something new and stretch our legs at a shooter first with the high powerful traversal elements was coming out of our comfort zone somewhat, but we wanted to see what we could do to put an Arkham spin on the action shooter space.
Now get your damn
That's a nice way of saying they were forced to make this game.
The cinematics are kind of the heart of our story. It's the most cinematics that we've ever done, and every one of them is crafted to perfection.
We're not just trying to do what we did before, we're making something which fits the source material that we think will make for an interesting story, but will feel different.
To introduce you to our story, let's jump
I
into
recognize
another part
that.
of the game. Amanda Waller, the director of the government agency Argus, sends the team behind enemy lines into Metropolis.
So no melee. They've been showing melee like the whole
Do
time.
not be more cautious.
She ain't wired that way.
Oh, Deadshot.
Hidden in an underground train station, the team finds a secret elevator.
Until we figure out where the hell we
This is giving me Avengers vibes.
Let's play along with Waller.
Oh, is this a superhero museum?
Elevator just looks more cinematic.
Superheroes. And museums.
I've seen it on TV. It's the Hall of Justice.
So let's rob the place.
Idiot.
Through these doors lies the inner sanctum of the Justice League. Sounds very grand, doesn't it? And it is.
The Hall of Justice looks cool
She's
though.
a dame who can almost make me listen to a boring PSA.
Don't touch anything that's
Not
gonna set
Harley
off an
simping
alarm.
for
I
Wonder
ain't fighting
Woman.
any supers
I'm
for
here
you.
for it.
I have read much about the Justice League, and still, they are larger than I expected.
Those holograms aren't actual size, Sharkman.
It's so true to the characters that they're in Hall of Justice, and the first thing they think is, what can we steal?
Good instinct.
Hey, man, watch the
Shit!
glass.
I'm okay.
What the hell you got there?
Thought this baby was a myth. Speed Force Gauntlet. Back when Doc Savannah tried to lift Flash's gimmick.
Yep, that's my main right there.
Miss you, Red.
Poison Ivy? Wait, is Poison Ivy dead in this universe? She just said she misses Poison Ivy. Is she not alive? Well, so much for her being a DLC character.
You found the Riddler's hat of invisibility!
Where'd the shark go?
Did I not finish Arkham Knight? No.
Children.
I got bored
Ooh,
very
nothing
early
says
on.
international assassins
I got
like
bored
a
after the
freaking
10th tech mission where I had to use the Batmobile
You're
in a row.
probably right. Jetpacks seem more like a Deathstroke thing anyway.
Only saw the Nightfall Protocol.
Mine.
Music is solid. King Shark has a great hat.
That, hat's not gonna get you vertical, Shark.
I can make my own way up.
Because he's a demigod. He's got his own traversal.
Well, tickle me stupid. Sharks can fly.
All right. New toys, load of guns. Let's get up on that roof and get our freedom back.
It's available for pre-order.
So here we're taking these iconic characters who don't typically traverse the way they do in our game. But that's the beauty of our storytelling.
That's
We've
smooth.
managed to take these unique abilities and make that an extension of their personalities.
Our power is undeniable.
King Shark's traversal looks very smooth.
We loved working with Gotham and making that a world for players to experience, and we wanted to do that with a new location.
Good to get out of that.
King Shark has a better Hulk jump than Hulk. Facts. already a point on Avengers. King Shark's jumping is better than the Hulk's in
We
Avengers.
felt that Metropolis was the natural next step to extend that. And what better way to introduce it than through an invasion from Brainiac with no Justice League to save them?
You play this at the release of a 20 and 30.
We're all seeing that thing, right?
This is definitely way more
The
than a
entire
20,
game is
$30
about
game.
fighting behind
No
enemy
way.
lines.
Oi, Wally! What the hell have you sent us into? It's a bloody war zone out here. There's a giant skull in the sky.
Congratulations, Task Force X. You're the first assets to make it into Metropolis alive. We're sending a signal transponder to your location.
So you're essentially in Brainiac's backyard.
Your orders are to activate that transponder.
Okay, so give us an idea of the different missions. Activate the transponder. Enemies
There's
show
no
up.
civilians left. Brainiac's killed them or made them into soldiers to do his bidding. And through this corruption, the people of Metropolis have become extensions of Brainiac.
No civilians left at all. That's crazy.
Hey guys, thinking I shouldn't ate that extra tapioca?
Green Lantern.
What the player knows from our title and what the Suicide Squad is about to find out is that here, the Justice League are the bad guys. They've been corrupted by Brainiac, and over the course of the game, your mission will be to kill them.
Ugh, Green Lantern, nice. Hey, your face always looks so... What?
Harley doesn't have any innate superpowers.
Power
So
strong.
to go up against these beings that have incredible strength, it's a challenge.
I'm in the middle of recon for Brainiac. Let's walk and talk.
You're talking about, the all-star team of superheroes here.
Samoa
I
Joe.
want you to see this. Pay attention, Floyd.
Let me go home, please. Get it off! Get it off!
Looks bad, feels worse. But once you've been enhanced, there's no going back.
Outstanding.
When you face
They got
off
my boy
against the
John.
most iconic characters in all of superhero-dom and Justice League, it's by many people's definition an impossible task.
You're searching for stragglers, augmenting Brainiac's army.
Just as Avengers
The
Day.
stakes that Rocksteady sets, the challenges they heap upon you as a player.
Time to rally up with Brainiac. Ready to make the leap?
You know immediately, like, this is the tallest task I will ever take on. in
Graphics,
a
yeah,
video
I never thought they looked bad. I just need to see more from the gameplay.
Brainiac wondered how you got off the ship.
Speedster secret. The League doesn't leave anyone behind. Let's make you right, buddy.
You know, that's just what I was gonna say.
You're going to be fighting the Justice League.
Ooh, Green Lantern versus
There's nothing
Green
more
Lantern
high
versus
stakes than the boss
Flash?
battles we have in this game.
These are gods like Green Lantern, Batman, Superman, The Flash.
So,
I want to
what's
see
the plan?
some.
At that point, the game really opens up. We start to see players look at their weaponry and really ask the question, like, how am I going to kill the Justice League?
Yeah, looking forward to killing the Justice League and all, but, well, you know, these guns are a bit shit. No offense.
Then head northwest. That's the last known of a Gotham arms dealer who's dug into Metropolis. Oswald Cobblepot.
The freaking penguin!
You want to last more than 10 seconds against the League? Cobblepot's been running
John Stewart
anti-metal
is the
weapons for
superior
years.
Green Lantern,
I
for
want
sure.
him recruited and brought back to the Hall of Justice.
Oh, I'm gonna recruit the shit out of him.
Since Batman Arkham Knight, the Penguin is no longer confined to Gotham City. He's made a name for himself in Metropolis as the authority on anti-meta human weapons. Now, Waller wants the squad to recruit him for Argus.
I see you've already stolen traversal equipment. You'll need it to stay off the streets.
This looks cool.
Setting a new recon.
I just want to see how good the gameplay is
At the heart of each
and some of the other
character's playstyle
features.
is their traversal. Traversal gives the player total freedom. Every character has their own way of getting around that determines how the player moves through this world.
Speedster.
Don't like to boast.
Yeah, that's my main right there.
Right was I.
Controlling a superhero character is fun. It's a power fantasy for all players. We wanted movement through the city to be fun. Just existing and moving around. In
Yep, recruiting
Metropolis
Penguin
is a
for
good
your
time.
weapons.
Metropolis is quite a normal city. Well, as normal
What up,
as a
Black A?
city can be in the DC universe.
We spent a lot of time trying to get that art direction correct, trying to get
Like,
the feel
traversal
for
looks
it
great.
correct. You get to see
They nailed it.
DC lore that builds this space.
City is huge.
Not
Look
just a
look how
building,
fast he
it's a
goes.
Daily planet.
That's
you
it.
know, there's a
That looks
lot
fire.
we can inject into the city that makes it more than just a city.
Penguin is not truly a penguin.
Yeah, mate. And I'm not a boomerang.
It is known for its size, its scale. Anything from the DC lore, you look at Metropolis as the city of tomorrow.
Deadshot flies with a jetpack.
Out. He was barely in. Money talks, creeps walk, you know?
I hear that.
It's just a great way for players to experience Metropolis in a new way.
Will it have a night and day cycle? Yes. That I did hear they have.
G'day, Pengo. Remember me?
No. Ain't this a right rogues gallery? Who's the big bleeder? Think his cousin used to work for
You think Shazam will be in there?
Which one?
Let's get him out of a circus. We're getting the hell out of the city before Argus finds us. You in?
But we are working for Argus.
You bloody what?
Real slick, Shark.
Good talk. Nice catching up. Give my regards to the locals.
It's a good, very good Penguin design. I like it.
Traversal is at the very core of our game. You will need to be on the move and master each character's movements if you want to succeed. Harley's grapple is made to let her take advantage of the environment to quickly get out of troublesome situations. Or
Harley's
she
basically
can use it to
Spider-Man.
quickly close the distance to introduce them to her baseball bat. Swinging from the background lets her circumvent the troopers' shields and flank them. It can also let her catapult herself into the air to shoot the corrupted from above. Now that you've seen some of Harley's combat in this scene, let's explore the rest of the squad's unique playstyles in other encounters.
Here's
Captain
my
Boomerang
boomerang.
uses a mix between sniper rifles, SMGs, and shotguns.
What's cracking?
Each character has an iconic melee attack that can be used to create what we call juggle kills, and also break enemies' shields. Juggling an enemy with a melee attack means they take guaranteed critical hits from all the guns for a short period after.
Interesting.
Shoot enemies in their
So it is
legs,
a shooter.
and then close the distance to do a shield harvesting strike to get some shield back. Let's shift focus to King Shark.
Cause to celebrate!
King Shark is literally death from above, which he gladly shows with his Atlantean drop attack. He's the character that can
Shark
take the most
smash.
punishment. Heavy weapons, assault rifles and shotguns, and his trusted cleavers, sickles, and combat knives for some brawling action. For the bigger enemies, each character gets a super powerful single target attack. The Suicide Strike. This one-shots any enemy hit, but it takes longer to recharge, so it's important to use it tactically.
So that's the ultimate
Finally,
ability?
Deadshot.
See, you're low caliber, and I'm high caliber.
His traversal is made to let him create his own vantage points. This works great with his weapon loadout of sniper rifles, assault rifles, and pistols. For more up-close action, Deadshot relies on his iconic wrist cannons. One thing we really wanted to bring into this game was a reimagined version of the Arkham counter system, and mix that with our traversal and shooter gameplay. Introducing Counter Shot. Each enemy has a different reaction to the counter shot. Some will be stunned, some will take damage, some will be interrupted and then get
Games
really
will
annoyed.
flop like Avengers.
Now let's take a look at Harlem
Avengers sold 4
absolutely
million
demolish Brainiac's
first
forces
month.
with all these tools.
If this game sells 4 million the first month like Avengers, WB is going to be very happy.
Oswald Cobblepot, my man. Do we have a job for you? Tell him, Quinn.
You're making guns
Ven-
for us now, Bird Brain.
The Avengers combat looks
Thanks
better
for
so
joining
far.
us for episode 1 of Suicide Squad Insider.
What? I already started, so I followed through.
In the months leading up to our launch on February 2nd, 2024, we're looking forward to sharing more details and insights about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League.
Suicide Squad's traversal is way better.
In our next episode, we'll be deep diving into more gameplay, combat mechanics, and how to take the fight to the enemy in your own unique style.
All right, so the next episode is going to be about the combat.
Let's call it a sneak preview.
That's
We
going to
really
be the
want
one to look
players
out for.
feel like they explored all these characters that we bring to life in this DC universe.
I'm going to enjoy this.
You're starting with characters who aren't very powerful.
'Cause I knew the
and
traversal was
through
good.
the story, you're learning how to use their skills and become powerful.
We really wanted to deep dive into the RPG system.
You have your enhanced traversal, you have gunplay, you have weapons, there are upgrades and unique talents. And all of that stuff fusing together to create this kind of unique experience.
Together, we are unstoppable. Join me.
Are you kidding?
Too soon.
224. Pre-order, get the classic outfits. So that is Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. And I hear pre-orders are live right now. Let me check. Yep. So let's check out the pre-order right now. We do it. We're going to check out the official website, and we're going to talk about. We're going to look, see if they update the FAQ. All right, so pre-order the standard edition. You get the classic outfits and the rogue outfits, PS5 digital only. You get the deluxe. You get Justice League outfits, 3 Black Mask Notorious weapons, Squad Gold weapons dolls, 1 battle pass token, no shade color swatches, digital only, and you get 72-hour early launch access, classic outfits, rogue outfits, PS5 digital only. And let's look down here. Battle Pass token redeemable for premium Battle Pass access. Seasons 1 through 4 Battle Passes. 1 Battle Pass available per season. W games may modify or discontinue online services with reasonable notice at any time. Early access starts on January 30th, 2024. Actual playtime depends on purchase date and is subject to possible outages and applicable time zone differences. All right. So you pre-order deluxe, you get to play the game 3 days early. Actually, let's see. So of course on all the major platforms, PS5, Series X, XC. I want it for PS5. How much is it in the PlayStation Store? Ooh. All right. $99 for the deluxe edition. That's NBA 2K pricing. Holy, expensive. So it's basically an extra $10 more than the Spider-Man 2 Deluxe Edition, which makes sense. It's this is a live service game. But holy, $100. Whew. Oh straight. Well, I'm trying to get a review copy. So, but yeah, for everyone else, yeah, that might be rough. But I'm hoping I can get a deluxe edition review copy. Stop waffling. I'm literally just reading the information. Shut up. PS Plus required for online play. Makes sense. Online play required. Supports up to 4 online players with PS Plus, and purchase games optional. So let me check the FAQ. See if they updated it. What type of game? Genre-defined third-person shooter. We know that. Developed by Rocksteady. Published by Warner Brothers. February 2nd. Will be. Oh, so they did update. All right, so they did update it. Okay. It will be available for early access. 72 hours if you pre-order deluxe. Available on all the major platforms: Steam, Epic Store, Series S, X, blah blah blah. How much Suicide Squad could Justice League costs? So the standard edition, $70. Physical and digital available for the console. Main game features the narrative, open world mayhem, post-launch seasonal updates and earnable characters to expand the story with new missions, items, and more. Available at no cost. So that's the selling point. It may be a high. So that's basically the selling point. Yeah, it's the standard version is $70. The deluxe edition is $100, but deluxe edition gives you a bunch of different bonuses, 72-hour early access, and the game is going to have free post-launch DLC. So that's basically how they're trying to sell you on it. Like, yeah, it's costs a lot, but there's going to be cost a little more than normal for the deluxe, but they're trying to sell you on the fact that they're going to be releasing new missions, new playable characters for free. Deluxe edition, $99. Got Get all the standard and pre-order bonus content. 4 Justice League outfits, 1 for each squad member. 3 Black Mass themed Notorious weapons, pistol, sniper rifle, and heavy weapon. 4 squad golds themed weapon dolls, 1 for each squad member. 1 premium battle pass token. Not sure what exactly that does, but we'll see. And $72 early access. Is it available for physical and digital? Yes. Does it have the pre-order bonuses? Yep. It looks like they go into a little more detail. Oh, all 4 will receive the classic Suicide Squad outfits. Classic outfits are inspired by the first DC Comics appearance for each squad member. Harley Quinn from the Batman Adventures number 12. Deadshot from Batman number 59. Kent Boomerang from the Flash number 117. Ian King Shark from Superboy number 0. Which playable characters are featured? Yep. Clown Princess of Crime, Deadshot, blah, blah, blah. Additional playable characters will be available post-launch. They go into the actors. Shout out to Tara Strong, Barbara Robinson, Daniel LaPayne, and Samoa Joe. Original story. Is it connected to Batman-verse? Yep. 5 years after Arkham Knight. Can you customize your character? Yes, you can customize your character's look with new cosmetics, gear, and weapons as they progress. So it sounds like gear changes appearance. It's good. You can play solo up to 4 players. You can swap between characters whenever they want outside of active combat. That's pretty cool. So essentially, so outside of active combat. All right, so not just in between missions. So like in Avengers, you can switch characters whenever you wanted, but only in between missions. You had to go to the helicarrier. But in this game, as long as you're not in active combat, you can switch to any character you want. So that's actually pretty cool. I like that. So IDK bro, the 2 months. How do I feel about the game? Honestly, I need to see more. I'm looking to see more. I was hoping this would be the video episode where they go into depth on the combat more, but that looks like it's going to be the next episode. But I mean, it's pretty much so far what I was expecting. I think the traversal looks great. It looks fun, but my main concern is with the actual combat. And of course the online features and everything. Co-op mode can only be played online with the internet connection, so no local co-op. The game supports full cross-platform and cross-progression play for online co-op, so that's very good. So not only is it cross-platform, but you also progress. Well, I remember I think that was a problem with Redfall. You could play co-op, but you didn't progress when you did it, which was like goofy. Is it connected to the DC films? Nope, just the Arkham game. Is a PlayStation subscription or Xbox Live Gold membership required to play Suicide Squad? Neither a PlayStation Plus subscription nor an Xbox Live Gold membership is required to play Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League solo, or Series X. However, PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold is required to play it via online co-op. That doesn't fully answer the question though about online, but I'm sure they'll get to it. What frame rate will Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League run at? It looks like it's targeting 60 FPS on console, which will make the people who physically can't handle 30 FPS very happy. They don't have the PC specs available yet. We'll have new content. Yep, they already confirmed that. New story content, playable characters, missions, gear, weapons, cosmetic items, in-game events, and more. So, full live service experience. Events, items, weapons, gear, missions, playable characters, all for free so far. Let's see. We'll go deep into the battle pass. All right, yeah. They got a little more details on the battle pass. Battle pass is post-launch, cosmetic only. Earn new outfits, emotes, and other items to customize playable characters. Cosmetic only. A new battle pass will be available during each season of post-launch content and will have free tiers available at no cost to all players, along with premium tiers that will be available via an optional in-game purchase. So pretty standard there. All battle pass items will be cosmetic and will not affect gameplay in any way. They want to be very clear about this. They want to be very clear about that. The battle pass is cosmetic only. It does not affect gameplay in any way. It's not pay to win. There's none of that. It is purely cosmetic takedowns, emotes, outfits, nothing that affects gameplay. So like Avengers, yeah, sort of, except Avengers tried to sneak in XP boosters. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Have a listen to Chris Brown. I haven't listened to Chris Brown in a while, but I am excited for Andre 3000's new album. We'll have in-game purchases. Yep. We'll have cosmetic items available for optional in-game purchase. That can be used to customize playable characters. Each cosmetic only battle pass will have premium tiers. Blah blah. We'll still have loot boxes. Nope, no loot boxes. But they didn't clarify online only from what I've seen in the FAQ, and it used to have that in there. Is it online only or not? I'm trying to see if I missed it. There's no local co-op. Oh, here it is. Is an internet connection required to play Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League? An internet connection is required to play Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League solo or for online co-op. So there you go. So Jez Corden's intel looks like it was off. They did not delay the game to remove the online only. You don't need Xbox Live or PS Plus. They said to play the multiplayer. They said you needed to play the multiplayer, but not the co-op. But I mean, not the solo. But you still need an internet connection. So you definitely need an internet connection in order to play it. They went full live service. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That Wi-Fi better not shut off. Your Wi-Fi is not even a problem. The problem is the servers. Because, and this is why I was hoping that they would listen to the feedback and get rid of it, because just having the option of playing it offline would incentivize more people to buy it, because a live service game is already a risk. It's already a big risk. You don't know. Okay, I'm invest. A lot of live service games fail. I don't know if it's gonna. I don't know how long this game is gonna last. It's not free to play. You know, it's $70 if I just get the standard. It's $100 if I go in on deluxe. And it's like, okay, so if this game So then it's like, okay, how long is this game going to be good? Is it going to last long? Like, is it going to work at launch? So you have all these questions, and then on top of that, it's also going to be online only. So you're potentially at the mercy of the servers, even if you want to play solo. I don't like that. But crying, how about you say something intelligent? Try that. Like, this is a perfectly valid criticism, as I was just about to explain before you interrupted with your stupid comment. So, for example, one of the problems with Outriders, which marketed itself, funny enough, as not a live service game. Outriders famously was like, we're not a live service game. They even threw shots at live service games. We're not live service games. We're not like that. We're giving you a full game at launch. That's the game. No none of that. No microtransactions. But the game was online only. And when it came out, because it was online only, even though it had an offline mode, you had to get into it. You had to wait for the servers in order just to log in and play the game. Oh, so you're clearly a troll, so we could just ignore you. Okay, cool. So, like, literally just to get into the game, you needed to make sure that the servers were working. And famously, for a while, servers weren't working. So even though this wasn't a live service game, and you paid for it, it had single player options. You had a single player campaign. It had single player in-game content. If the servers were not working, you couldn't play the game at all. You couldn't even log in. You had, like, I remember trying to stream this at launch, and I'm sitting there at the start screen trying to wait to get into the game because the servers were overloaded. And then they're like, I'm like, bro, what's this? What is going on? I can't get it. I pay for this game. I'm not even trying to play it. I'm not even trying to play it with multiplayer. I'm trying to play solo. I can't even do that. I have to wait for the servers to work. So that's the problem you run into with the online only stuff. It's like you at least want that layer of protection just in case, because even if the servers work, that's not always a guarantee. Even if the servers work, if the game fails and it gets shut down, well, they're going to turn the servers off, right? So all your skin purchases, all your gear, everything is gone. Kevin Conroy's last performance, gone. You can't play it anymore. Even if you just wanted for nostalgia purposes to pop in and do the single player main story, can't do it if the servers are off. Like, that's crazy. Like, why? Why would they not just remove that? I don't understand. I don't know why you do it in the first place, and why not just remove? That's so weird that they didn't remove that. That's so weird. So what was the delay for? I'm confused. What was the delay for? If not to remove the always online stuff. Why do we delay? You might as well put it out. Like, I don't see what was different. Like, why not just put it out in May then? What was the what changed? That's so crazy. What exactly? Well, maybe they'll show more in the deep dive for in the coming episodes, but from what they shown, there doesn't seem to be anything meaningfully different. The combat, the traversal, it looks the same. They didn't advertise any new features. Like, I don't know. I don't know. What do you miss? The entire thing. Yeah, Calvin, honestly, it still looks fun, but it didn't. My problem is that it didn't really address the main concerns people had for the game when they showed it like 6 months ago. Yet, but it's a good. These episodes are a good sign. It's at least a good thing that they're doing these deep dives, because I can tell it definitely had an effect, allowing people to see a little more uncut gameplay, trying to get a vibe for what's going to happen, what to expect. But definitely need to see more, especially because right now, this would have been a great time to have announced something new, like something big that changed. Because right now, all people are going to be talking about is the fact that the deluxe edition is $100 and they didn't remove the always online component. That's what people are going to be talking about for the most part. That's what's going to be carrying the conversation online. Not the traversal, which looks great. Not the graphics, not any of that. They're going to be like, well, the deluxe edition is $100 and it's always online. Like that's all people are going to be talking about. You stop playing, bro. And here's the thing. Even if I keep playing it, I'm definitely not looking forward to it because of stupid people like you. Because literally, that's one of the reasons why Avengers failed. Because you had stupid people in the community who can't understand that if you don't give constructive feedback about games, they're never going to get better. Like, there's a difference between being toxic and trashing the devs and pointing out factually problems and issues that can and should be addressed. IDK, bro, appreciate the 499. You agree with everything you said? 100%. It's not like that many things change. You just don't want to put your faith in it like it did for Avengers. Like, Avengers is literally the classic example. When it came out, you had a bunch of brainless shills like that guy who would jump on anyone that said anything remotely negative about the game. I remember this. Who played Avengers and remember and got MCU skins? Who here played Avengers and got an MCU skin at any point? Which one? Just drop a one. Just drop a one in the chat if you played Avengers and you got some MCU skins. Yep, a lot of people got the MCU skins. Love them. They were very popular. Probably arguably the most popular thing that Avengers added, right? Well, guess what? Avengers didn't have MCU skins in the game at launch. Game came out September 2020. The first MCU skin didn't hit until May 2021. But guess what people on day one were asking about? Hey, why are there no MCU skins in the marketplace? I want to buy some cosmetics. Why are there no MCU skins? This is an Avengers game. We want some MCU skins. They should add MCU skins. And you know what shills like that idiot said? Shut up, stop crying, play the game. like that's the issue. Like, that stuff like that is how games, especially live service games, don't improve. When you have too many people like that who don't want to hear anything negative, they just want to be like, that's how you poison the dialogue and don't allow games to get better. All I said was it's not good PR, first off, for them to not have removed always online. Like, it's an unnecessary feature. It's one of the biggest criticisms that led to a 9-month delay of your game. Remember, this is supposed to come out in May. We got a 9-month delay, which comes after a 1-year delay. You had a bunch of people very loudly tell you, we don't like always online. It's not a feature you need because it's a single player optional game. You have a whole campaign you can play solo. You don't need to have it always be online. Simple, easy thing to do. We even had an insider that suggested they were going to remove it. And then to not remove it on the same day you're revealing a $100 deluxe edition is like, it's not good PR. That's what I'm saying. Like, you could have removed it, and that could have been an easy dub. Like, there are a lot of people that want to play this game, but they're on the fence about it because they've been burned before, especially with live service games. So just throw the players a bone. Just be like, you know what? We heard you. We understand you don't like always online. Well, we for a single player, we get you in offline mode. We get you in offline mode. Avengers had it. We'll have it too. It would have been simple thing. And now, if it's not going now, it's probably never going to get removed. So I was like, all right, so you're going all in on this. So if you're committed to Suicide Squad, you're going all in. $70 standard or $100 deluxe. And you're just going to hope that the free content doesn't get delayed and it's good and it keeps flowing for at least the first year. You hope that the servers hold up on day one and beyond. Like, it's a lot of hope right now for a potential $100 purchase. So that's tough. We'll see. I'm still open to the game. I'm interested in this genre, but I still want to see more. You're fine with it without live service. You wouldn't have great. That's the thing. It's not even about the live service. It's perfectly fine if the multiplayer requires online. That's obvious. But if it's always online and there's no offline option, the game will disappear. And you won't be able to access it again. That's the issue. Like, I fully acknowledge that there's a market for live service games. They're actually the most popular games in the world. I have no problem with them. My only problem with live service games are when they do the sorts of things that make people not like live service games. You'll have your clown nose on, haven't paid $30 or something. Wait till it eventually goes down in price. Like, everyone complaining about the battle pass, I don't care. Like, it's literally, it's a battle pass. It has optional cosmetics on it. Who cares? Literally, who cares? It helps fund the game. They have multiple tiers of free stuff. Like, literally, who cares? I don't care. You're getting free story missions, free playable characters, in-game events. I don't care if they want you to, if they're giving you the option to buy some skins. I literally don't care. Like, that's not a valid complaint. If you don't want to pay for cosmetics, don't. And it will not affect you in any way. You will still perfectly be able to enjoy the game just without your favorite cosmetic. Like, it's not a big deal. So hope I can get pictures of the skins. I've seen the skins before. I've seen the classics before. I've actually seen what they look like before. But I was wondering if they're going to have it on the website. But I have seen, they showed the classic outfits last time. I was curious about the Justice League ones. But if you don't like any of the outfits, you could just be like, you know what? I already paid for the game. I don't want to buy any more outfits. And you don't have to. You just keep playing. Any guesses or expectations on who the post-launch villains will be? I have no idea. I'm just thinking of did you miss everything? Yes, you did. Just thinking off the top of my head. So if there's going to be post-launch missions, so there was a rumor a long time ago at this point that Suicide Squad was going to be a live service game. And this was before they had confirmed what it was. But it was an old rumor that said this is going to be a live service game. And one piece of post-launch content it was going to have was a Ra's al Ghul raid, which I thought sounded cool at the time. It still does sound pretty cool. So I'm guessing if there's going to be post-launch content in a game based on what type of game this is, then at the end of the campaign, Brainiac can't have been completely defeated, right? Like we're all in agreement that basically has to be the case, right? 72-hour early access, a premium token covers the extra cost alone. That's what I'm saying. I don't care about. I think those are all cool features. My only issue is $100 on top of the always online thing. If the game is a hit and they continuously put out quality post-launch content for free, then you got a bargain. If it's not, if the servers don't work, then it's gonna be bad. But my guess is that whatever happens at the end of the story, Brainiac's influence is still all around, and it's going to be like, okay, well, we got to keep cleaning up the city, to restore everyone or get rid of all the aliens and whatever that Brainiac took over. And I could see them saying, oh, and because remember, DC is a pretty big universe, just DC Earth. So if the Justice League were taken over, and the civilians were taken over, well, who else? There are other heroes that weren't part of the Justice League, but could be brainwashed. They also could help you if Wonder Woman wasn't the only one. There are potentially other villains who survived but were brainwashed that you could fight, like a Ra's al Ghul. Like maybe Ra's al Ghul and the League of Shadows got Brainiac, and you got to go take down the League. That could be another thing. You got to take down an alien-fied League of Assassins. That could be a whole thing. Maybe you run into Shazam or Black Adam for that matter. And you have a lot of options there when it comes to post-launch villains, as long as Brainiac was not fully defeated. Like either him being defeated didn't remove the brainwashing, or he wasn't fully defeated. And they can drag this out, over multiple arcs, you know, leading up to a final confrontation with Brainiac or something. That's off the top of my head how you could expand that post-launch content. And then obviously you could have different playable characters by just adding members to the roster that used to be at some point in the comics members of the Suicide Squad. You know, like Deathstroke or Peacemaker, Bloodsport, Sportsmaster. You know, that you can look at villains like that, people like that. And I'm only thinking of characters that use guns because that seems to be the whole thing. You want a Wonder Twins game? Court of Owls raid. Appreciate that, IK, bro. Yep, Court of Owls raid. The Court of Owls get turned into aliens. Basically, the premise would be, okay, Brainiac turned everyone in Metropolis, Brainiac's whole thing, everyone's getting turned into aliens, and Suicide Squad's got to stop them. So, look at this superhero got brainwashed, you got to fight him, or this supervillain got turned into alien supporter, you got to stop him. That's basically the whole selling point. And you can put out a bunch of content like that. That's perfectly fine. Every single shooter has melee built in. This definitely has melee built in, but because it's a superhero game, you really don't want to take a typical approach to that because it leaves a lot. There's a lot left on the table, and it also kind of limits the characters that you could add. Like Bizarro would be a really good character to add as a member of the Suicide Squad. And he also used to be a member at some point. Bizarro would be amazing, but I don't want Bizarro if he's got a gun. I don't want to play. I don't want a Bizarro DLC if he's running around with a machine gun. I don't want that. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking. Like, I would love Reverse Flash, but not if he's, basically Captain Boomerang, just with a assault rifle. I don't want that. Then it is like Fortnite. I don't want that. Yeah, Bronze Tiger. That pretty much limits the potential characters they could add to the roster. Two characters that are like really ground level, with the exception of King Shark, who shouldn't need a gun, but does, which was another of the criticisms. It's like, why have King Shark if he has a gun? He doesn't need a gun. He's a demigod. Oh, for your boy Black Manta. The only thing it seems like any characters they have would have guns. Yeah, that's why. So it could be fun. Like Deathstroke, I'm looking forward to playing as Deathstroke. Captain Cold, because he has a gun, but he has a cold gun. Same with Heatwave. So that's one way they could add interesting villains, but they're still limited to guns. But at least those would make sense. Okay. Even if they're using guns, Heatwave and Captain Cold, still really cool characters. I would love to play as them. But if they're using the same guns as everybody else. See what I'm saying? Which I don't know if they would do that because Captain Boomerang doesn't need guns at all. All he needs is boomerangs. That's all he uses. He uses boomerangs, and he uses trick boomerangs in the comics with different effects. But for this game, there's like, oh, well, we're just going to have him use guns. It's like, you don't have to do that. Maybe a PvP mode. I don't see them doing PvP now. I don't see that happening. I think this is definitely going to stay PvE. The only thing I can see them doing PvP is if it's like a team based things, like in a Ghost of Tsushima Legends in Rivals mode. They technically have a PvP with that, but it's not two characters fighting against each other. You're basically competing on a particular mission. So you have to do certain objectives, and villains are going to come along the way, and you can trigger things to sabotage the other team. But it's basically a team competition. It's not a direct combat scenario. So I could see them doing stuff like that to add a PvP element, but this doesn't look like a game that lends itself to like direct player combat. Let's give Azaro a P90, but that would be wild. Most gamers will be playing GTA 6. People think GTA 6 is coming out next year. That's crazy. Imagine thinking that. Jonah Hex pops out of time portal. How'd you feel about Jason Todd coming back as Red Hood to help as DLC? I'd be stressed because I'm saying villains post-launch content. That would be a stretch. Obviously, he had his whole arc in the Arkham games. So yeah, they could always do that. But technically, Red Hood would qualify as a character they could add. He does some, he's not like the Gotham Knights Red Hood. Red Hood in the Arkham series, he did some dirt. I think his hands are dirty enough that he could join the squad to fight an alien invasion. I could see that. Solomon Grundy would be cool with dual wheels, 50 cows. Oh my god, that'd be sick. That'd be insane. If this fails, they basically make a Superman game. Well, that's the problem. They did basically make reportedly, this we don't have confirmation on this, but reportedly Rocksteady did make a Superman game or start to make a Superman game, and they brought it to the execs, and the execs said, nah, how about a live service Suicide Squad game instead? And here we are. Their backup plan would be just make another Batman game. That would be the backup plan. If it all comes crashing down, they could always just say, we're going to remaster Arkham Knight. We're releasing an Arkham Knight remaster. Or we're doing another solo Batman game. Superman game would have been a comeback story where he loses all his power somehow, gain it back over the course of the game. A Nightwing game. Or a Justice League game. How about that? Not a game where you're trying to unalive the Justice League game. Not that game, but a game where you're actually are the Justice League. You're playing as the Justice League. You're flying around open world Metropolis with Superman. You're dropping out of a bat plane with Batman and beating up Batmans, and you're running around with the Flash and flying with Green Lantern. Like, how about that game? It's important to support games like this where you get to be the villains and beat up the super. I think Genius Button is just a villain himself. That's why. Is it a live service? Yes, this is very much a live service game. You have a Batman game with blood and gore where you kill civilians like GTA 6. I don't know about that. I like Jay Shockblast's Batman Ninja game better. That sounds more interesting. Give me a cell shaded Batman Ninja over that. Where's Prototype 3? I know they revealed the new Metal Gear, but Prototype 3 would definitely be fire. Slave would definitely be an option. I believe he's been a member before, or regardless, he's definitely a character that perfectly fits this game. he would absolutely do missions for Amanda Waller. I think he's actually literally worked with Amanda Waller before. He uses guns, but he's also a really good melee fighter. He's pretty popular. He would be an excellent character. A JL game would be 10 terabytes of storage. Constantine game would be different. Facts. Did they confirm if they would show post-launch content in an episode? The only thing they did was they talked about the post-launch content. I don't remember if they said they would dive into it, but they did mention it several times that there would be post-launch content. The next episode specifically that they advertised was about the combat. Slay solo game. Do you think they will have a patch that removes online requirements? We already went through this entire scenario. If there's a huge online we literally just lived through that entire scenario. They showed the game. A bunch of people said always online. We don't want that. Get rid of it. The game got delayed 9 months. They showed it again. Always online was still there. That is our answer. Question, scenario lived, question answered. What's new in the game you have not seen before? The only thing new I remember seeing is I saw a couple new attacks. I saw early on in the video one of it was pretty sure it was Deadshot. They were fighting a boss, and Deadshot did some kind of really cool attack. Let me see if I can pull it up in the actual video. It looked cool, but yeah. Other than that, obviously we didn't see the Hall of Justice before, but now we're just talking about random stuff that they showed. But I was looking for like significant, maybe new features, new gameplay. Mostly saw we learned there was we learned each character has an ultimate ability, and that's cool, but they didn't really go too deep into combat. They mainly seemed to focus on, they just really kept it about the story and the traversal. And I feel like they should have talked more about the combat, because I think pretty much everyone already knew what to expect from the traversal. That one was pretty straightforward. So I was hoping to see a little bit more. I was hoping this episode would be about the combat. Like this one is a special move from Captain Boomerang, who is going to be my main. It's he uses his gauntlets he uses the gauntlets and the speed force, kind of just zip around. So this looks like a mini boss encounter. We all just double teaming them. We'll watch this on slower speed. Is this the scene? For someone asked about the purple weak point. That's still there, obviously. All right, so that was the intro. Oh yeah, this is another thing they didn't show. This is I think this is when they break out, because when we see Harley Quinn in the straitjacket. So it looks like during this scene, the Suicide Squad look like they're basically locked up. You know, they've obviously been captured. They haven't been sent on a mission yet, but Brainiac's invasion starts. Everything goes crazy. So you're basically trying to escape from wherever you are. And get to the surface. So that's controlling Harley Quinn. Straitjacket, then eventually gets his elevator, which leads you to the Hall of Justice. So it was cool to see this part, you know, walking around. It looks pretty cool. The design's nice. And then that's where you get your traversal weapons for the first time. Give you a little demonstration of King Shark's movement indoors. Which, if you played Avengers, definitely going to trigger you a little bit. Because if you remember playing Marvel's Avengers as Hulk, you did not jump like this. Similar animation. But that was not a thing you could pull off in Marvel's Avengers. Using the Hulk. So that's cool. At least King Shark mains won't have the same problem as the Hulk mains did. You get to jump around. Yeah, all of this was all this was cool, but it falls under expected, you know? It's not like a new thing, like, oh, you know, oh man, they added this. It's like, okay, yeah. Traversal is good, we know. So looking for that Deadshot move. I think it's coming up. So they broke into the combat a little bit. Because that's why, from what I saw, I'm trying to, you know, not pass judgment too much, because I know from experience when developers show gameplay, they very often don't show high level gameplay. Like the combat in Avengers didn't look that great when people saw the trailers and stuff. You know, people were like, oh, you get to play as your heroes, but they didn't really show you anything cool. But you put the game in the hands of somebody like, you know, like June or someone who specializes in combat, and all of a sudden you see Captain America or, you know, Black Widow doing this 30-hit combo chain with flipping and grabbing and all this other stuff. It's like, oh man, you can do a lot with the combat. But you wouldn't know that from, you know, seeing the gameplay in the promotion. And unfortunately, that's exactly what the developers do all the time. They don't show you they don't get like high-end sweaty players to like really show off the stuff. How am I excited about this game after reveal? I'm exactly the same exact level of excitement I was before. Like a 7. Because I knew exactly when I first saw it, I was like, okay, I know what this game is. Let me see more. I know what the game is. I understand the assignment. I'm buying what they're selling, but I need to see some stuff specifically to sell me on the long-term viability of the game. And I haven't seen enough yet in that regard. But it's nothing's like changed my perception at all. It's except for maybe the always online feature, not changing that after Backlash. That's the most surprising to me. That's why I'm like waiting to see what they show in the other episodes. Because if you delay the game 9 months, I would expect like, all right, they were cooking up. Like obviously 9 months is enough to like completely overhaul the game, but is enough to make some significant changes. And so far, I'm like, oh, this looks like what they showed at the State of Play back in February. You pure Spider-Man 2 and haven't played it yet? Really? How? How is that possible? Poison Ivy is defo in this game. Her vines appear in the trailer. Well, she apparently died in Arkham Knight, and Harley Quinn sees a trophy of Poison Ivy while they were in the Hall of Justice and says, "I miss you, Red," as if she's dead. So I'm gonna go with Poison Ivy is definitely not in this game. I think Poison Ivy is in that garden in the sky or underground. I don't do game reviews unless I get them like early enough to do for the review embargo. So that entirely depends on the level of access I get. Let me see if they have that looking for that one Deadshot scene. Had a cool looking ability. So I'm definitely looking forward to that next episode. So this one, this is the combat section. So we get to see a little more of the melee. They're mainly showing the traversal, but a lot of the melee. But that's why I really like when I would really like it if you got to see like high level gameplay, because it doesn't look really that dynamic. Okay, she drops down, does the bat smash, leaps away, shoots. You know, it's like I want to see some like real fast combo change. Like that's what I'm looking for. How deep is the melee? Is it literally just a handful of these attacks, or is it more in depth than that? Apparently, one of the mechanics is that they pop up these shields that they shoot from cover from. Doesn't seem, which is a weird mechanic. Like this doesn't seem very practical. Like this takes place in a pretty big map. There's no dome on the shield. So what exactly is is the practical use of the shield? Like it's cool, yeah. I can shoot from cover, and they can't hit through the shield, but I can shoot through the shield at them. But if you're in a big open map and they can just jump over or go around, what's the utility here? What's the utility of this whole scenario? You think there's a new Batman game? There is currently no Batman game, from what I know, in development. Suicide Squad, Kill Justice League is reportedly. I mean, it's a big live service game. Live service games, if you didn't know, require a lot of resources, and I don't know of any other studio working on a Batman game. I know WB Games Montreal is working on a DC game, but we don't know what it is yet. And if Rocksteady's not doing it, then I don't know who at WB would be doing one. And the timeline of a game, even in development, is like just for a single player game, you're talking like 4 to 5 years. Deadshot can fly. He flies with his jetpack in this game. Captain Boomerang basically uses the Speed Force gauntlets to super speed and teleport around. Harley uses this bat drone and a grappling hook combo. So this is the juggling they mentioned. King Shark just jumps by himself, and Deadshot uses a jetpack. So this is the juggling thing they mentioned. If you hit them up in the air with that juggle attack, they call it, then they take guaranteed critical hits for a short duration from your ranged weapons. I think this is the part right here. This is a Boomerang. This is the Boomerang section. There's another Deadshot section. I'm gonna keep looking for it, because I think it might have been a new weapon or a new move. I'm not sure. We haven't seen that much from Deadshot's combat compared to everyone else. Mainly just him, shooting stuff from his jetpack. But Boomerang looks fun. I'm biased towards Speedster. Any Speedster character in a game, sign me up. But as you see from the combat, they basically have shields, which will definitely get people who keep saying it looks like Fortnite to compare it to Fortnite, because it's kind of what it is. It's a blue. You got your normal health and you got your blue overshield, and you see the shield pops up when you take damage. And part of defeating the enemies is recovering that shield. It does defer to Fortnite. Instead of slurping up juice to get the shield, you're just defeating enemies. But I like Boomerangs because his combat looks like the most agile. I feel like, based on what they're showing, I have a feeling that I could do some real cool stuff with Captain Boomerang. Just zipping around the battlefield, hitting and run, just comboing, going crazy. I had that feeling with Captain Boomerang. Wonder Woman game has to be good. She is OP, won't be using no guns. That is true. Monolith is well known for their combat. The only question now people have is what live service elements that Wonder Woman game is going to have, because it will have some. And Monolith did have some problems a while back with Shadow of War, when they put a bunch of like microtransactions stuff in there, like loot boxes. So that would be the main concern. Otherwise, I'm really looking forward to the Wonder Woman game. I think this might be it. Yep, there it is. What is that? That looks cool. It's still a ranged weapon, but it looks like it might be a melee weapon, he's using his fist. Because they mentioned something during this video that they're going to have different melee weapons in addition to ranged weapons to like distinguish themselves that they can pick up. So obviously Deadshot's got his jetpack, he's got his rifle. It's like they all have a slide, and then he just like spins around and just blasts with these like gauntlets. That looks pretty cool. I'm definitely maining. I definitely want to main Captain Boomerang. But Deadshot's looking pretty interesting too. Rocky has wrist shooters, most known weapon. And you think a gun would fare better against Superman? Well, it depends on your ammo. If you got some kryptonite ammo, well, he's gonna feel that. Throw some kryptonite in there, he'll feel that one. Go to 917. It proves Ivy's in the game. 1917. Didn't we already just go over why Ivy's not in the game? Unless they brought her back. You think that's Poison Ivy? That's clearly an alien. They basically said so Ivy died in Arkham Knight, and Harley Quinn basically acknowledged that she's not alive, like in the beginning of the video. I can see why you're confused though, and I'll break it down why it's not Poison Ivy. But yeah, they literally just said in the beginning like she's not alive. But the reason why you're confused by this scene, those aren't her vines. That's just natural vegetation. This takes place 5 years after Arkham Knight. We don't know quite how long this has been going on, but whatever section this is, this section just has some vegetation. And whatever monster this is just is disrupting the ground. There's just some overgrown vegetation, and the monster just is burrowing underground. If that was Poison Ivy, the vegetation would be moving. There would be vines and trees moving and everything like that. That's Ivy's whole thing. That's just an alien that's traveling underground close to the surface so that they can bust out of it, and a part of the city that just so happens to have grass and stuff. That's not Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy's not alive. It would have been wonderful if she was, but she's not. Rest in power to Poison Ivy. Doesn't mean she has to be in this game. Choose villains who are actually cool and have real power. Think she might come back to life. We'll see. But if she does come back to life, and she is a playable character, I hope they don't give her an assault rifle. That's what I'm worried about. If she's not going to be playable, then that'd be a cool little reunion. But I definitely, if she's playable, I definitely don't want to be running around with a shotgun. I really don't. Oh man, we'll see what's going on with the combat trailer. That's what I'm looking forward to. I really want to see that combat video. That's the deep dive I was really looking for. I want to see what's going on with the combat. Do you think Rocksteady have a second team working on another DC game? Rocksteady, according to their website, has 254 employees. So no. they're not Insomniac. Next week's the combat. If they're doing these every Wednesday, then yeah, next week would be a deep dive into the combat. If Killer Croc is in this, you want to play as him minus the bazooka. Welcome, Tom. At this point, everyone will be given a gun. Watch the ticking trailer. I have no idea what Rocksteady's next game is after this. I have no way of knowing what Rocksteady's doing after this. The founders of they're going to be doing this live service thing for a while. Assume depending on how long WB wants to try to keep this going. The founders of the studio left before Suicide Squad even came out, like before it was even done. The two founders of the studio left the company. I have no idea what they're doing in the future. It's completely up in the air. Pre-orders went live today. Standard and deluxe are available on every place that currently sells video games. It's on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5. Have I played other monetized WB games? Technically, yes. I have Arkham Knight. I haven't spent any money, extra money on it. I think I got it through PlayStation Plus, and it came with like a bunch of stuff. I own Injustice 2, which I think I also got from PlayStation Plus. Never played it though. Pre-orders are live right now for everybody. They went live a while ago. Thinking we played Gotham Knights, but that wasn't really monetized. I didn't play Shadow of War back when I didn't play Shadow of War at all, but they removed all of their monetization from that game anyway, so I played Multiverses for like a month, but I didn't spend any money on it. At the time, the only thing to spend money on in that game were skins, and I was like, I'm not that committed. I understand why someone would want to spend additional money in this game. I mean, that's literally any video game that has microtransactions. If you're playing, especially if you're playing a superhero live service game, if you're playing any kind of superhero game, and it offers you not even a superhero game, just any live service game. It's like, oh, well, I'm playing this game. It's fun. I'm committed to it. Oh, they have some cosmetics in the store. I'm interested in doing that because they have something that I want my character to wear that they're currently not wearing. I want that thing. I'm going to go get that thing. That's generally how that works. I'm definitely not playing Arkham Knight again. No. It will be microtransactions for cosmetic items and premium battle pass tokens for cosmetic items. Yep. So even if you don't want to buy cosmetics for this particular game, you can still get them for free. So there's really yeah, the whole live service elements. So far, the worst live service element, really the only bad live service element that you could argue for this game so far, is the fact that it's always online. That's like the only negative thing so far for the live service elements. Everything else is like literally no reason to even complain about. Like, oh, it has a battle pass but the only thing on the battle pass are cosmetics that have no impact on gameplay whatsoever. Also, the battle pass has free tiers, so you can get free stuff from it if you don't want to spend any money. And you get skins from pre-ordering the game. Oh, it has post-launch content, but all of it is free. So it's like, okay, what live service elements are we complaining about? Literally, the only thing to complain about if you don't like live service stuff is the always online thing. Other than that, like, why? They all suck as characters. Yeah, that's definitely cap. Harley Quinn does not suck as a character. Saying Harley Quinn sucks is crazy. Nope. As I said earlier, I stopped playing after like the 10th Batmobile mission, and just played other stuff. It's a shame that they didn't make a Battlefront 3. Here's the thing. Funny that you mentioned that, Tom. They did make a Battlefront 3. You're probably not going to want to hear this, but they did make a Battlefront 3. They were making a Battlefront 3. It was being made. There was a lot of progress on a Battlefront 3. And then it got shelved. There's a reason why this game has had so less publicity and mostly dislike from the public. The Suicide Squad aren't they're not a big IP. They're not a huge brand. I mean, Harley Quinn is very popular. She's one of the most popular characters in all of DC right now. So it's definitely a good thing that they included her at least. But yeah, the Suicide Squad as a whole, they're not that popular. But the reason why the game has been struggling with public perception has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that they're used in the Suicide Squad. It's that the public were expecting another Batman game because this is Rocksteady. They were at the very least expecting a single player, story driven superhero game. That's what they're known for. And instead, they presented them with a live service looter shooter with the Suicide Squad. So that definitely rubs some people the wrong way. The latest movie, the James Gunn version? Yeah. Yeah, the latest James movie didn't do that well, but wait, didn't that have a simultaneous HBO Max release and come out during lockdown? Isn't there some very important context missing? Let me double check. Yeah, yeah. There's some very important context missing there. Yeah, you left out some extremely important context. For yes, no one's disputing that the James Gunn Suicide Squad didn't make a lot of money, but you're leaving out extremely important context. I don't know why. I don't know why you're being this emotional over it. It released the same day on streaming that it did in theaters, and it came out in August, so 2021. So it was also impacted by lockdowns. Some very important context missing. There's some very important context, buddy. Dune didn't release on HBO Max the same day. Do you not understand this? Dune did not release on HBO Max the same day. Dune also only made $402 million. It was not anywhere close to one of the most successful movies of all time. What are you talking about? $402 million. It's decent, especially on the $165 million budget. That's by no means anywhere close to one of the top. What is Bull waffling about? What do you mean? Dune made about $300 million more than the Suicide Squad, which released on HBO Max the same day. What are we talking about? Dune was not streaming at the same time. There's literally no argument. Dune was not streaming the same day it hit theaters. Suicide Squad was, and Dune only made $400. Why? What are you talking about, bro? Bro's having a stroke or something. I don't know. somebody check on this person. Anyway, the gameplay better look crazy. It looks the same. The game has not dramatically changed from what you saw in February in terms of how it looks. I don't think Suicide Squad has anything to do with the Wonder Woman. I think if they intended to show Wonder Woman at the Game Awards, it's because the game is far enough along that they're comfortable sharing it. It will have nothing to do with what Suicide Squad is doing with their marketing. And it was on a lockdown. Yeah, so less people. Yeah, so Suicide Squad came out during the lockdowns, so less theaters are open, less people willing to go out to see movies, and it was on HBO Max at the same time. So not only were people afraid of going out, but they also had the option of literally just staying home and paying $15 to watch it, or if they already had HBO Max, they could just watch it for free instead of going out. Yeah, the comparison is crazy. It was still a solid movie. But come on. What are we talking about? Yeah, the reason why, yeah, if we're going to talk about the movie not being successful financially, yeah, there are a lot of reasons. There are very legitimate reasons why. Same day HBO Max release and released during the lockdown. Like, come on. Why are you obsessed with me watching The Taken? I don't care. Okay. We watched episode 1 of the Suicide Squad, Inside Suicide Squad, and Harley Quinn seems to think that Poison Ivy is no longer alive. If she comes back to life, awesome. That would be a nice surprise for Harley. It did flop even for lockdown. What does that mean? That's a meaningless statement. What is the standard? What is the standard expected return for a movie that releases during a lockdown? A once in 100-year lockdown. What are you talking about? And the lockdown isn't the biggest factor against it. It's the fact that you could literally just watch it on HBO Max. And it wasn't even like with Disney, where it was like if you wanted to stream Black Widow instead of watching it in theaters, it cost you $30, even if you already had Disney Plus. No, all you needed was HBO Max, which is $15 a month, and you could sit home and watch Suicide Squad instead of going out to see it. That was the much bigger contributing factor. What do you mean? Why do you keep ignoring that? What WB movies came out in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time? Now I'm curious. Name one movie besides the Suicide Squad that WB released in theaters and on streaming at the exact same time. I'll pull it up right now. We'll check its box office against its budget. What is it? Name one. You just said they released other films under that model. Which one? Specifically, which one besides the Suicide Squad? Which one and which one did well? What was his numbers? You don't even have to give me the numbers. Just tell me what. Every film that name one. Every film that half of the year. So you're saying every film in 2021 from WB was released in theaters and streaming at the same time. Okay, so 2021. Let's pull it up. Let's pull up one. Let's pull up one random one. 2021 movies. Warner Bros. Let's see what they threw out there. Here we go. The Matrix Resurrections. I remember that one. The Matrix Resurrections was not a good movie. I remember watching that on Max. The Matrix Resurrections had a budget of $190 million, and it made $159.2 million. So it had a higher budget than James Gunn's Suicide Squad. It had a bigger IP, since it's the Matrix compared to the Suicide Squad, and it made less money. So yeah. So yeah, it lost money considerably. Considerably did not do well. All right, let's see. Godzilla versus Kong. Let's look at that. Godzilla versus Kong. HBO Max. Did it debut on HBO Max? Let me check the wiki. Did I see that in the theater? I feel like I saw it in the theater. I usually always watch those Godzilla movies. Projects announced in 2015. Delayed for the pandemic. Yep, it had a simultaneous HBO Max release. All right, so let's see. It had a budget of about $200 million and it made $470 million. So the break-even point was $330 million. So it just broke even. So the Godzilla versus Kong movie, big franchise, barely broke even. So The Matrix flopped. Godzilla versus Kong barely broke even. It doesn't prove you right at all. It proves you have no idea what you're talking about and you're just waffling. It proves you're completely just chatting. You have no idea what you're talking about. The break-even point was 330. The break-even point was 330 million. It was not a hit. It just made it over the break-even point. It was legitimately the most hyped movie of the year, pretty much, and it didn't make $500 million worldwide. It didn't even break 500 million worldwide. So obviously, the simultaneous release had an impact. Because remember, this was a sequel. I'm sure they were expecting a lot more. But, simultaneous release. So they probably measured it like, well, they stopped doing it, so obviously it didn't work. They got rid of that strategy. A profit of 70 million is, a profit of 70 million is not enough to make another big movie. What are you on? The budget for Godzilla versus Kong, first of all, the listed budgets are usually much higher because they spent $200 million just making that movie. But they usually spend another $100 million on marketing for the movie. So $70 million is not going to make you another Godzilla movie. What are you talking about? You need, what do you mean? And that's not factoring in reshoots. That isn't factoring in reshoots at all. That's $200 million for the movie at minimum, at base. About $100 million for marketing. You're adding more if you have to do reshoots. $70 million is not doing anything. That's not going anywhere. That'll get you a nice indie movie. You want to make a small movie. That's not make you another Godzilla movie. You need a lot more than $70 million. Most films I watch are not made for less than $70 million. I'm sorry to break it to you. I don't. The TV shows I watch, a lot of the TV shows I watch on like Netflix or Prime cost more than $70 million. What are we talking about? What do you mean? $70 million is crazy. 99% of movies don't come out. They're not. People make a lot of movies. We're talking about real movies. We're not talking about people. We're not talking about Sundance movies that people scrape together. We're talking about major releases. And if we're talking about blockbuster movies, you're not spending for most of them, you're not spending less than $100 million. Even The Creator, which was praised for looking really good despite not having a massive budget, still spent $80 million on the budget, not including the marketing. What do you mean? That's not going to get you anywhere. Superhero. They definitely need to scale down the budget on the superhero movies, especially with the reshoots. That's way too much. They've been doing way too much. Like, there's absolutely no reason the Marvels should have cost as much as it did. The Marvels, they're saying the budget is $270. They spent way more than that. I'll tell you that right now. They spent at least $470 on that movie. They need to bring those budgets way down. Yeah, I have no idea. This Love Blood chat. Like, I have no idea where you on right now. But in general, yeah, the budgets have gotten like way out of control. When it comes to major Hollywood movies, if you spend big money, you're expecting a big return. Like, Warner Brothers does not consider Godzilla vs. Kong a hit. Barbie, they consider that a hit. That's the kind of return they're looking for. Barbie is the type of money that they're looking for when it comes to return on investment. Barbie was like a $100 million budget, if barely. $145 million budget. Around in that range. And it made over $1 billion. Well over $1 billion. 1.4 billion. That's the type of return they're looking for. I still didn't watch either of those movies, by the way. I'm low key behind on movies. Like the big Hollywood stuff. I've been watching them lately. I didn't watch Barbie. I didn't watch Barbieheimer at all. I did not participate in Barbieheimer whatsoever. And I didn't even watch John Wick 4 yet. I was waiting for that to come to Prime. I gotta watch John Wick 4. Then Barbie spend a lot on marketing. They always spend. Yeah, when it comes to marketing, just assume $100 million. Just add on, like, whenever you see a budget for a Hollywood blockbuster movie, just add 100 million to it for the marketing. That's just off the top. Just add 100 million, and that's roughly the budget. Even so, that would just bring it to 245, which is still a massive hit because $245 million budget, including marketing, $1.4 billion gross. They'll take that. And then when it comes to Max, that's going to drive subscriptions. That's going to drive subscriptions. That's the other way. That's why they were doing that same day release strategy, because they're like, okay, well, it's the pandemic. We're probably not going to do that well on the box office anyway. We just launched HBO Max. Let's incentivize people to sign up for that HBO Max service so that we can have that as like long-term revenue for us. Mario's a massive IP. Massive IP. Big return on that movie. Mario's one of the biggest IPs in the world. Issue as you said, Suicide Squad was caught because game is unknown. Yeah, unknown. Yeah, the whole unknown thing is that's something that someone would say if they don't pay attention to games, because the name recognition of an IP is completely irrelevant. It's about the quality of the game. Nobody heard of The Last of Us when it first came out because it was the original IP. Didn't stop anyone from buying it and helping it become one of the biggest IPs in gaming and one of the most successful games of all time. Like, the name is irrelevant. It's about the quality of the game. Spider-Man, Mario are one of the biggest movies of this year. Most people don't like the Suicide Squad. Most people don't like the Suicide Squad. I would love to see some evidence of that. If you're talking about general audiences, I mean, at this point, more of them than not will have heard of it. But yeah, I can see you guys saying a lot of people, just in general, if you go outside of niches, don't know who they are. But people that do generally have a good interpretation and feeling about them, especially because of Harley Quinn. Evidence, yeah, the thing that proof of the thing that you're claiming. Evidence. You specifically are talking about the IP of Suicide Squad. We know that people don't like the game because of it being live service. You specifically said because the Suicide Squad aren't a popular brand IP. And I said evidence. Of what? Of that. That's not prime evidence. The reason why people didn't like, we already confirmed, the reason why the James Gunn version didn't do well is because it released during the pandemic and was a simultaneous release. The reason why people have a negative impression of the game is because it's not a Batman game and its live service. It has nothing to do with whether or not it's a Suicide Squad game. People love, by your argument, people hate the Avengers because Marvel's Avengers didn't do well. Obviously, the reason that Marvel's Avengers failed is not because people don't like Iron Man and Thor and Black Widow and the Hulk and Captain America. It's because the game wasn't good enough. It has nothing to do with the IP. The Avengers are massively popular. The individuals are massively popular. The game just didn't do well because it wasn't that good. What are you talking about? You make no sense, buddy. It's okay. That's nothing to do with the IP. It's literally just the game. Remember when The Last of Us 2 got Game of the Year instead of Ghost of Tsushima? That was an absolute robbery. Absolute robbery. What DC and Marvel games are expecting updates on at the Game Awards? I have no idea. Besides, Suicide Squad has to do a trailer. I mean, that's pretty much a lock. They're dropping the new trailer at the Game Awards. We can just lock that in. New Suicide Squad trailer. Lock that in at the Game Awards. 100% guaranteed, confirmed happening. Other than that, the only other DC games currently that we know of are Wonder Woman, the unannounced WB Games Montreal DC game, and then on the Marvel side, Iron Man hasn't had a trailer yet, but that's super early in development. Black Panther already had a teaser trailer. So there's the third Marvel game from EA. But last I heard from Jeff Grubb, which was like a few weeks ago, that game is still super early and they haven't even picked the hero yet. So that's out there. So the only other thing would be the Skydance Media Black Panther and Captain America game, because that got a trailer in 2021 and we haven't got an update since. And Wolverine would probably be something that Sony saves for like a state of play. What is this person talking about? I have no idea at this point. Black Panther didn't have a trailer normally. Yeah, it had a teaser trailer. Yeah, it didn't show any footage, any gameplay. It was just a teaser trailer, just to say, hey, we're making a Black Panther game. If you work in game development, apply. We're looking to hire. That's basically what that was. Wolverine's already had some news, but yeah, we're going to see. I think we're going to see more and more updates, especially if Insomniac is definitely targeting 2024. I could definitely see some Wolverine updates happening in December, at least one. Hi, Blazin. First trailer. This game has 10 million views. Yeah, like bro is literally just waffling. Like we have, he's just on one. I have no idea what he's talking about anymore. But we've already proven this. So yeah, you just assume that he's just talking. They're just talking to themselves. What are the chances we get a Wonder Woman trailer another trailer? I'd say 40%. It's been 2 years, going on 3 since the last Wonder Woman trailer. Say he's lying about the announcement trailer. I mean, we can literally just pull that up like anytime. About the announcement trailer getting a lot of views. I'm pretty sure it did. Suicide Squad Announcement trailer. Oh, there we go. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League official teaser trailer. 3 years ago. 10 million views. We'll zoom that in right there. Official teaser trailer. 4 minutes. 10 million views. Rip. Well, so there goes that. Then they put Peacemaker. He is going to be a character in Mortal Kombat, yeah. Bro is definitely waffling right now. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna put together a video. I'm gonna probably save it tomorrow. Just put together all the info that we learned from Suicide Squad today, and I'm assuming same time next week we'll meet up again, do another live stream. I think that's going to be episode 2. Everyone have a good night. I appreciate y'all. I'm Sadot the Gamer signing out.